You're welcome to this edition of Vote 2023, where we do an analysis of the three leading presidential candidates for you to be able to make comparisons and even go further to search more to know whether what we are saying is true, and of course to be able to take a decision on who your candidate will be. We are aware that most of you have issues with time and probably if you too don't have resources to do this, find it. That is why we are on today. So this week's edition, we are talking about health. What plan does the APC, PDP, and LP Labour Party has in stock for health? Because health is very, very important. We want to recall that somebody said that health is wealth until today. That is still very, very generative. And a lot of people keeps talking about health. We just asked this question and we leave you to take a decision on this, that how healthy are the presidential candidates? This I'm going to borrow a leaf from one of the presidential candidates, and that is Peter Obi, who said, "Do not hand over a sick country to a sick president." And we will agree that from 2015, Alhaji Muhammadu Buhari has been in and out of the hospitals for medical checkups, particularly outside this country. That, of course, has made this country to lose a lot in medical tourism. And of course, the same thing, we have lost a lot of time because there's several things that the president has to assent or give the go-ahead for. And of course, nobody does this except Mr. President. And now we are going in for another election, 2023. Should we hand over a sick country to a sick candidate? I'm sure the answer should be no. But however, the choice is yours. And when we say we are sick as a nation, you know what it means. Virtually all the structures we have or institutions we have are not working well. Is it education? Is it security? Is it social? Is it economy? Continue to name it. Our roads are just in disusable states. And, well, this week is not without its own drama. And again, the drama is from APC presidential candidate. And that is all the way in Chatham House, that a president-to-be gives out questions on the paper he delivered to people to answer. I think our guess and our understanding here would just have been that he should have, the same way he gave those topics on security and other questions, he should have given it out to the people who answered it to deliver it. And the purpose of Chatham House is for you to present yourself to the world. And then it brings to question that, was Bola Ahmed Tinubu right to have done that? And that is that also right for a president to be? Then, of course, the comedy of it, I see some people passing some document around and saying Joe Biden asked Dr. Fauci to answer a question. Then the question we ask, is Tinubu a president? He's not a president yet. He's a candidate. So there is no basis comparing a president in person of Joe Biden to Tinubu, who is a candidate now seeking votes to become a president. Okay, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not satisfied with the health system in Nigeria. He, however, wants to continue with the program General Muhammad Buhari launched. And that, of course, has to do with pregnant women and children. And he feels that it should have increased in funding. And according to him, he's going to pull out the money paid on subsidy to help improve that project. Also want to look at the National Health Insurance Scheme, and he wants to move it up to about 40% of Nigerians, which they in their paper classified as around 70 million Nigerians, about 70 million Nigerians. And so this were revelations made by the former permanent secretary of the Ministry of Health in Lagos State. He is also a health consultant. The presentation was made by Mr. Femi Olugbe. The APC presidential candidate is also interested in mental health, and accordingly, he wants to look at how to get more funds into mental health and, of course, expand the test methodology there that will save a lot of people who are suffering from it, probably even unknown to them that they have mental issues. Is also interested in training medical practitioners more. They want to introduce sponsorship through scholarship to encourage the medical practitioners to stop leaving the shores of this country. Yes, the presidential candidate of the APC, Tinubu, also believes that a health facility should not be more than 30 minutes or 3 kilometers to where anybody is. So that means they want to make sure that there is access at every 30 minutes walk or 3 kilometers to where you are. You know, that you should be able to access at the primary health care. They're referring to primary health care. Then, of course, they want to move the NHIS to NHIA. That is the National Health Insurance Authority. They want to give it more power to bite. What else do they want to do? Yes, they want to increase salaries of medical practitioners. It feels that they should be paid more than they are being paid right now. And of course, Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu believes that funds should be put into research, and that is the only way we can also improve the health system in Nigeria if more money is pumped into medical research. So that's all we were able to lay our hands on from the APC and from Alhaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Okay, Peter Gregory Obi of the Labour Party believes that the percentage of the budget that is presently being used for health is not correct. And so the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, wants to move it to 10%. And according to him, that is the only way that health system delivery can be made perfect. They want to look at the area of children and the aged as well as the youth. And they are so committed. Even in their 72-page manifesto released this week, it was mentioned very clearly. The National Health Insurance Scheme should now take care of the poor 133 million Nigerians. And I think he's referring to the data released penultimate week by the National Bureau of Statistics. That means they can access health system free of charge. They also want to involve more private sector in health so that there will be enough funding to it. He also believes that the health workers are not paid well and they need to be paid properly so that they can deliver more. Now, Peter Obi believes that one of the ways to increase funding into health is to withdraw the money, spent on fuel subsidy to fund health. So in other words, he's advocating as well for the stoppage of payment of subsidy, but the funds from subsidy should be diverted to health. According to him, these are part of the critical sector that needs government attention. We also believe in training, that there must be adequate training for medical personnel, and this, of course, must go round. He also wants to comply with the African Union 2001 Abuja Declaration on the percentage that is allocated to HIV/AIDS as well as tuberculosis. I think they want to take this very seriously and move it to another level. And of course, this was contained also in their document. Peter Obi also believes that we don't have adequate data on health, and as such, he wants to bring in health status in Nigeria, as in health outfits, health organizations, and what have you. So they need to have a comprehensive data And according to them, going forward on improving health will depend on the data that we have, which must be accurate. So they won't work on comprehensive data for health. So again, I have to re-echo this. Peter Obi says, do not hand over a sick country to a sick president. As amended, sick candidate. Because now they are candidate. They are not president yet. Labour Party, which also believes that the youth must be carried along in the planning of the health system in Nigeria. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar believes the health system of the country is not okay. He made this declaration while he was trying to explain his position on Arise TV, where he declined to make a commitment to using the Nigerian health system. According to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, what we have now is an eyesore. Taking that as where he's going to be taking treatment, then he's wrong. So his responsibility is to first admit the poor position and state that those facilities are so they can improve on it. So to that extent, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar said he's relying on the party program for health, particularly the stand for children, women, and of course, the youth. In his own approach, he said that they are going to be combating the administrative problem in the medical sector. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party believes that there is no proper coordination even among health workers, and there is no understanding among health workers. According to him, he said, this is one of the problems also affecting the security sector, where there is a fight for superiority amongst the security sister agencies. So he said this is being extended to health. So according to him, he does not see a reason why a doctor cannot successfully work and relate with a pharmacist or a nurse and a radiographer and other people there. So according to their own plan in PDP and Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, they want to surmount the administrative bottleneck first in the health sector. And having done that, he's insisting that he wants to improve budget on health to 15%. And yes, the Universal Declaration is good, but according to him, Nigeria needs more than that because of the level of decadence in our health system in Nigeria. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar also believes, like his party, that the National Health Insurance Scheme must be improved upon, that more people should come into the net and be able to access health. He reminded people that the PDP started this, and of course, he's going to continue, needs to improve on whatever is on ground. Now, it's never going to be sufficient and it's never going to be enough when it comes to health issue. So this he made very clear that his party was going to put in more funds into research and training, which particularly has to do with maternal health and children mortality, which according to him serves the masses and at the rural area, so that this is looked into. And they also believe that the brain drain can be captured in a situation where Nigerian doctors and medical practitioners are allowed to explore, to learn more, and of course use state-of-the-art medical facilities. That this, of course, will stop the brain drain. And of course, payment of medical bills will be streamlined to meet up with what an ordinary citizen can abide with. So these are the things that Alhaji Abubakar Atiku said he is coming to do as far as health is concerned. The quality of health is affecting the delivery of the primary health care, and then this has to also be upped. The game must be improved so that these facilities can get to more Nigeria. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar says also in his plan that safety of health workers is also of paramount to him and the PDP, that it is only when the health workers are healthy or assured of their safety that they can deliver on their mandates. So that they were going to set aside funds to take care of the protection of medical workers, because according to him, even without outbreaks, without pandemics, that they deserve to be protected on their job. And of course that they're hazard needs to be looked at because it is critical to their commitment and their ability to work without looking back. He believes that the female gender should be encouraged to participate more in health planning, health delivery, and made to study more sciences so they can become a health practitioner at one very level or the other. Sincerely speaking, the way our medical practitioners are behaving or conducting themselves are not good enough and good to write home about. And this particularly has to do with government hospitals. I think one of the things we grew up to know are medical practitioners very caring about anybody's health. But go to these sectors and you find how nurses address people as if, I mean, they made themselves sick. I'm not ruling out possibilities of one behavior or the other leading to it, but then do you have the right to insult and or talk to patients anyhow? This, of course, is demoralizing and could affect their state of mind and then worsen their health situation. And of course, some doctors too now prefer to treat patients in their private hospitals rather than government hospitals. And of course, you collect money from all these, you earn money from all these ends. And then do we ask you, do you have a conscience? We ask, do you have a conscience? Because this matters. So this job you're doing is not just a profession, it is a mission, something that has to do with life saving and life protection. So we want to beg you, we want to appeal to you to have a rethink about the way you are going about your medical practices. Are you doing the right thing? And some convert government properties to their personal properties. You see, patients are sick, they could end up buying like 10 cartons of gloves, and by the time you find out what was used for them, probably two. Then the question is where the eight don't go. Now I'm saying now medical practitioners, then they thief. We don't want to conclude here because we think this is just a warning to you to be careful, because in subsequent editions we might be forced to speak out and be specific on the sharp practices in government institutions. And of course, we're also aware of some medical practitioners too that are involved in rituals, killing of their patients and what have you, which is very sad. Very sad. And so we appeal to you, if you belong to that class, you better stop it because you just be caught soon, very soon. As we put a wrap on this edition, we want to talk to you that you should expect us to look at the economy and the presidential candidate's plan to wriggle out of it. Right now, Nigeria's economy is in a very crazy state, so much that government is worried and now thinking it is when they reduce what you go and withdraw or transfer that will solve the problem. We have turned to a land where experiments are now used to determine the life of Nigerians. But nonetheless, we look at what the LP, what the PDP and the APC says they want to do to arrest this very disastrous economic situation Nigeria has found itself, that our Naira now wear pampas, and this is unfortunate. But then, by next week, by His grace, we'll be talking to you again on economic plan by the parties. See you then, and thank you.